Hello everyone and welcome to Yin Yoga. My name is Trishy and for today's class we'll be balancing the Vata Dosha. So the only thing that I'll ask is that if you're naturally very chilly and feeling cold, just dress warmly. Otherwise, come and take a comfortable seat, sitting up tall, kneeling, up on a block, or even a chair. Feel free to close your eyes and bring your shoulders onto the back body. Begin to tune into your breath, letting it take its natural rhythm, cooling inhale and warming exhale. Feel all points of your body that are connected to the ground. Bring your palms together in prayer position in front of your heart. Let's begin with a cleansing inhale and then exhaling through the mouth. If you're sitting up on a block, you can just move it off to the side so that you have room to come onto hands and knees. Then sit your hips back to the heels and bring your palms behind your lower back. So you want to feel this on the front of your ankles and possibly into the knees a little bit. Try to find a way to keep your arms and palms comfortable, and you can always use a prop underneath the sit bones, or you can lower all the way down. Or another option is to lift the knees off the ground. So I'm just going to keep my knees on the ground. The doshas are energies within our body and mind, and keeping these three doshas in balance allows us to feel healthy. Winter is a very Vata Dosha dominated time of year, so even people who may not be Vata Dosha compatible can become Vata imbalanced. If you're unsure of what your dosha is, there are many quizzes online and Ayurveda books to help you know your dosha. Of course, nothing is as accurate as having a meeting with an experienced Ayurveda specialist. For today's class, we will combine the meridian system that we usually use in Yin Yoga, the Chinese traditional medicine from Chinese traditional medicine, and combine it with Ayurveda. The meridians that we will be targeting will be ones that, among other traits, help relieve anxiety and stress, which is a sign of a Vata imbalance. Slowly begin to lift back up, coming off of the palms. And then come back onto hands and knees. And you can stretch out one leg and then the other if that feels good. From here, keep your toes curled under. We're going to come into a toe squat. And I like to use props to sit down on. It just helps to make the pose a lot less fiery so that you can hold it for time. So what I like to do is place a block in between the heels and then my meditation pillow so that I can just sit up on the props. But you want the stress to go into the toes, the feet, the ankles, and maybe a little bit into the lower legs. And then you can just sit up once you're comfortable. Feel free to close your eyes. Coming to your edge, which is not pushing sensation, so that your breath can stay natural and relaxed while you hold the poses for time. In order to pacify a dosha, we usually should do the opposite traits of the dosha. So Vata Dosha has qualities of cold, dry, and during the aging process, we progress from Kapha dominated as children to Pitta in midlife, and then to Vata in older age. And even the time of day and season also affects the dominance of a dosha. So there are a lot of factors, and they're always in change. Some signs that you are feeling Vata imbalance is anxiety or fear. You're unable to concentrate. You're just feeling exhausted mentally and physically. You're sensory sensitive, and you kind of have obsessive behavior. Gradually come back onto hands and knees. It might feel good just to tap the tops of your feet down onto the mat. And you can move your props off to the side for now. From here, we're going to come into a stretch for the wrists. So you can either have the wrists facing each other with your fingers facing away from each other, or you can have both wrists facing forward while the fingertips are facing towards the back of your mat. And you want to feel sensation into the inner forearm. Some physical signs that Vata may be imbalanced is awkward body control. And without proper nutrition, you can feel frail or dizzy. An intolerance to cold. Dry skin and hair. You might feel constipated. Have joint pain and stiffness. And you might just feel restless. So other things that might help you feel better besides balancing the dosha is you can try taking hot baths or giving yourself a massage with warming oils, eating warm and nourishing food, and of course getting plenty of sleep. Very gradually just begin to peel your wrists off the mat. And then once you're there, you can just make fists and roll your wrists around, moving them whatever way feels spontaneous and right. You may want to have your props close and an eye pillow if you use one in your practice. And then bring your big toes to touch, knees go as wide as is comfortable, and then lower your chest and forehead all the way down to the mat. Forehead can go on an eye pillow or a towel with your arms extended out in front of you. Slowly begin to lift back up, walking the palms in, sitting back on your heels, and just moving your props close to the side of your mat. Take a moment, feel the effects, and then when you're ready, slide all the way down onto your tummy, coming up onto your forearms. So if you want less sensation in the lower back, you can walk your palms further out in front of you. So if you want more sensation, you can keep the elbows underneath the shoulders. Bring the shoulders onto the back body and try to relax everything that doesn't need to be working. Begin to release all the way down onto the mat stacking one palm on top of the other and lowering your forehead down on top. Then bend through your knees and very slowly just windshield wiper your feet from side to side. Then you can lower your feet back down to the ground and just wiggle your hips a little bit from side to side. When you're ready, you can roll over to one side, using your arm as a pillow, coming into a fetal position for a moment. And then press into the ground, sitting, and then extending both legs out in front of you. Have your props close at hand. We're going to take some forward folds, which can be very relaxing and therapeutic. So again, extend your legs out in front of you. I'm going to be using my blocks and meditation pillow. You'll have to adjust your blocks according to your own body. And then when you're ready, you can just fold forward over the thighs, relaxing your arms and feet and legs. And it's okay to round your spine in Yin Yoga so long as you're not pushing or pulling yourself to get deeper. What I like to do is have my palms facing the sky so that I'm not tempted to use any arm strength. Once you're set, relax into stillness and peace. One sign that you might have gone too far in Yin Yoga is that you just can't get still and comfortable. If that's the case, just make the pose a little less difficult for your body by supporting it with props. press your palms down on the ground, using your arms to very slowly and mindfully lift all the way back up. And then just take a moment, feeling the echo as you do. When you're ready, you can come and face the long edge of your mat, bringing your left foot to the inner edge of your right thigh, and then extending the left foot out to the side and bringing your right foot to the inner edge of the left thigh. So you're just kind of moving towards the back of your mat that way. And you can turn and face your left leg, and then taking a cleansing breath and then folding over, resting your forehead down on some props or letting gravity guide you. Take your time to use your arms, very slowly lift up. Maybe once you're there, you can take a cleansing breath, nice and slow. And when you feel ready, we're just going to go to the other side. So extend your right leg out to the side, bringing your left foot to the inner right thigh. You can shift your props over if you're using them. And then when you're ready, fold forward over your right leg, and you can bring your forehead to props if you like. Let curiosity and awareness guide your understanding of the sensations in your body. Slowly lift back up, feeling the release as you do, maybe taking a cleansing breath. And for the last forward fold, we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So as you are, just face the long edge of your mat and extend that left leg out to the side. If you feel like you're rounding back, you can always sit up on a pillow or blocks, anything that makes you feel comfortable. Relax through the legs, and when you're ready, just fold on down. Very slowly lift back up using your arms. Rest here for a moment. And then you can move your props off to the side. Help your knees by placing your palms to the outer edge and then bending them, bringing your feet to the floor, and then just windshield wiping your knees a few times from side to side. The last pose that we're going to come into is legs up the wall. And if you don't have any wall space or you don't feel like getting up and moving your mat because you feel just too relaxed, that's fine. If you don't want to place your legs up the wall, you can come into waterfall, and I'll explain how to get into both. So if you do want to move your mat over to the wall, go ahead. And then lay back all the way down. And it sometimes helps to bring your hip close to the wall and then lifting your legs up the wall just to get close. And you can always scooch in a little bit closer with your hips. If you want to come into waterfall, just take your block at the lowest level, placing it underneath your hips and then lifting the legs into the air. Feel free to take whatever arm position feels spontaneous. I'm just having mine out to the side. If you would like to stay where you are and let that serve as Shavasana, just stay exactly where you are. If not, just bend through the knees. And you can either remove the block if you're using one, or just shift all the way to the top of your mat so that you can lie all the way down. And if you use an eye pillow, you can go ahead and place it over top of your eyes. And then extending one leg and then the other, bringing your arms down along your sides. Take a moment to get truly comfortable. And then just relax everything. Your mind, your body, your heart. Take these last few minutes just to rest and renew. Begin to lengthen your breath Stretching through your fingers and toes, maybe reaching your arms overhead and taking a full body stretch. Then bending through one knee and then the other, coming onto your side and using your arm as a pillow. Once you get there, just take a moment. Feel safe. You are safe. And then press into your palm to come and take a comfortable seat. You can feel free to keep your eyes closed, and if they're open, just have a soft gaze. You can lift up tall through the spine and bringing your palms wherever you feel comfortable. Become aware of your body and breath again, seeing how you feel now. And bring your palms together in front of your heart. Let's close with a cleansing breath, inhaling deeply through the nose, and then exhaling through the mouth. Thank you so much for practicing Yin Yoga. If you enjoyed this class, please subscribe to my channel. I put out new classes every single Friday. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much. Namaste.